How's it going, people? Salmon Slabby here, and this is the design brief for the Elf City. We're carrying on with it. You all asked for it, so here we go. So this is the fourth of 5 design sheets, and is carrying on covering the Elven clans themselves. The first one was pretty much just about Elf City in general, and then the second and third were about 4 other clans. So this one's covering the Ithell clan and the Amlodd clan. Yeah, it is pronounced Amlodd, since the elves are kind of based on Welsh, so here we go. So moving on then, these are going to be part of the second batch of updates for Elf City. So as you know, or may not know even, the quest is going to be coming out, I think it's Plague's End, I'm pretty sure it's called. That's the quest in order to gain access to the Elven City. And then soon after that one will be the batch 1 updates, which is the design sheets 1, 2 and 3. They'll all be coming together pretty much. And that's 4 of the clans plus the main city itself. Well, sometime after that then, we'll be adding the other 4 remaining clans, and this is the first of the set. So this is the Ithell clan, and they're affiliated with crafting and construction. And this is their symbol, kind of like a weird music symbol / crystals. I don't know. There we go, that's the symbol anyway. So in this place you'll find the singing bowl. And the singing bowl acts identically to the bowl singing bowl found within Brimstale's cave, converting crystal tools to seeds and vice versa. It's also used to make the brand new crystal items that will be coming out with the Elven updates. So that's all the new weapons as well, I assume. Plus, maybe there's more? So, yeah, never know. It just says crystal items, and when you think items, you don't particularly think weapons, but we'll see. So the other thing they've got is CRYSTAL-FLECKED sandstone spot ×5, which will require level 81 mining and 89 crafting. So each CRYSTAL-FLECKED sandstone mining rock produces CRYSTAL-FLECKED sandstone. It's so annoying to actually say that over and over. Players can mine a maximum of 15 CRYSTAL-FLECKED mining spots per day. This will reset daily, so basically this will run kind of like how the flasks do. Was it Sandstone, I think it's called? I can't remember. It's been a while since I mined that, or even cared about what it's called. So it's basically like that, but a lot less. So 15 you can do a day, and it'll reset daily. Any amount of crystal glass can be made within 1 day though. The amount a player can mine will likely increase with the elf task set reward though. So that's something to bear in mind, similar to how you gained more flasks, or the mining spot for the flasks when you did the elite desert, so yeah, most likely going to be something along those lines. So crystal glass itself is untradeable, but crystal flasks are tradable. Crystal glass requires no crafting level, but the flasks do require 89 crafting. Crystal flasks are made by using glass blown pipe with a crystal glass. This will yield you a chunk of crafting XP. So crystal flasks can be used to make combination potions. A combination potion is created when a number of potions are used together with a crystal flask in the imagery. This creates a 6-dose potion with the combined effects of all the component potions. The player must have unlocked and bought the combination potion recipe before they can make the chosen potion, and there are 20 possible potion combinations in total. Apparently we'll get more information on the 20 combos when the Malia document is released, which is actually document 5, so that'll be in the next video, so we can find out what the combinations for the flasks are. Honestly, that sounds pretty interesting. Basically being able to combine 2 sets of potions, although the only things I can possibly think about which would be handy, maybe, is something like a super prayer pot and a prayer renewal in one. I think that would be pretty useful, because overloads are kind of like on their own. And that's if overloads are even combined in this, let's be honest. Normally when they do combo pots, it's like the combat potion with was it Harlanders and Goat Horn, which is basically just an attack strength and I think defense boost. So yeah, well, I guess we'll find out. It's in the next one anyway, so I guess we'll find out pretty quickly. So moving on, anywho, you have soft clay mining spot ×5. These require 75 mining. Bonkers. These mining spots are identical to existing clay mining spots, except they are automatically made soft clay, and will give far more mining XP than a conventional clay spot. I want it now. That would be awesome for the MCFS. I will do that all the time because that's easy crafting as well. Either way. So the other thing, just like the others, is pickpocketing NPCs. These require level 88 thieving, and just like the others, you'll find the Ithell workers, and when you steal from these guys, it'll Apparently they'll give you construction elements. I assume that's going to be stuff like marble block, planks, and logs maybe. You know, typical stuff you require for actually constructing. Although they're meant to be changing construction. Was that this year? I can't remember. Either way, they also drop seaweed, sandstone, and hides. Rare elements will include expensive construction elements and crystal flasks. Ah, they're quite nice. Quite interesting to steal from them. Could make some profit off them. So in the outer circle of the Ithell area will be robust glass machine ×2. And you'll also find crystal harps and crystal singing, level 75, 80, 85 and 90 smithing required depending on what you're doing. So the crystal singing process is as follows. Fight monsters to get drops of crystal seeds, play the crystal harp to get a harmonic dust. Combine the crystal seeds with harmonic dust to make crystal items. The player fights monsters in the Elf City and gets crystal seeds as drops. The player then needs harmonic dust to make the actual crystal items. So you're going to need a bunch of seeds pretty much. In the outer circle of the Ithell segment of harps, which you can find, the player clicks on a harp to start playing it continuously. Whilst they're playing it, they continually gain crafting XP and harmonic dust, which is a stackable inventory item. This does actually require a minimum of 75 crafting though. However, a higher crafting level increases the rate at which the player gains XP as well as dust. While they are played, the harps will gradually go out of tune, decreasing the rate at which the player gains XP and dust, until eventually dropping it to 0. The player can interact with the instrument to retune it, and next the player combines the crystal seeds with the harmonic dust to make said crystal items. The player can use the crystal singing come on Simon, sort it out. Players can use the crystal singing bowl in the middle circle of the Ithell section to convert those seeds into crystal equipment, and to add new charges to existing crystal equipment. Both of these processes consume harmonic dust, however. The cost of recharging reduces for... Oh my god, come on Simon, sort it out! The cost of recharging reduces for players with higher smithing levels. Attuned crystal gear cannot be recharged and is destroyed when fully depleted. Crystal items will degrade with use though, and when they run out of charges they revert to the type of crystal seed they were created from. So the seed can be used to create a new item afterwards. Attuned crystal gear does not revert to seed and is instead, however, destroyed. 4 types of equipment can be made through this process. Normal combat weaponry, which will require level 75 smithing, that's quite nice. Tools, which will require level 80 smithing. Teleport items, which will require level 85 smithing, and attuned combat weaponry, which will require level 90 smithing. That is quite cool. Each combat style apparently has a 1- and a 2-handed weapon that can be made in normal and attuned forms. So these are the attuned versions. If you remember from, was it design document 2? I can't remember. It's one of the old design documents anyway. We've seen pretty much a very similar picture of this. Those were the, quote, normal crystal weapons you can make, which require 75 smithing. I'm assuming the stats on them is going to be equivalent to what we have in game at the moment, which is the crystal bow and the shield. So they'll have similar stats. So, what is it, 70 ranged, the bow is, and 50 agility. So, all of these weapons would be like 70 in their respective combat forms. However, the attuned version is apparently going to be level 80, so it's going to be equivalent to a chaotic, but a very nice alternative to doing dungeoneering and trying to get them that way. Plus there are some extra little items in here. I will do this. I want it. I'm sure they look quite funky compared to chaotic anyway, so yeah. Quite interesting. I wonder if they got spec attacks. That would be even more interesting. That's something to think about, because they're doing the legacy mode. That's coming in Monday now, so yeah, that would be interesting. I really do hope they do have special attacks, because I'm pretty sure the bow did once upon a time ago. I don't think it was particularly wonderful though. It used the entire charge if I remember rightly. But yeah, I think they should. They should have spec attacks. Definitely going crystal. I want it. Anyway, carrying on. Enough of my session. The attuned crystal weapons have a chance of dealing more damage based on the player's agility level. Every time the player attacks, there is a chance that the attack will deal an additional 25% of its normal damage. This special effect only applies if the player is wielding attuned crystal equipment in both hands though. The crystal bow as well as the chakrams, including attuned versions, don't require ammunition, however they do degrade when they are fired. The crystal tools include a saw, fletching knife, tinderbox, hammer and chisel. They will have no requirement to be used, but are always non-tradable. They provide a +3 bonus to the player's level in the associated skill, but only when performing activities that use that tool. The crystal hammer provides a bonus when forging items, but not when smelting ores, however, for example. Additionally, these items apparently degrade after 28 uses. Ugh. That's quite small. Although I suppose you can just simply reforge it at the bowl. And considering they got a bunch of stuff for everything in this city, maybe it won't be so bad, because the bowl's going to be pretty close to you. Oh well. It's a nice +3 bonus to it anyway. That should help it quite a bit. So crystal teleport items have no requirement to use, but are always non-tradable. They have 4 uses each. The clan specific crystal teleports the player to the outer ring of the clan section within Privthinus. The Ithell teleport crystal can be used to teleport either to Ithell or the Temple of Light. The new teleport crystals have only one destination each. So much like we've got the crystals at the moment, after you complete Morning's End Part 1, they teleport you to Ithell. When you've done Morning's End Part 2, you gain the ability to teleport to the Temple of Light. So it's going to work similar to them, but they'll be their own specific crystal. It won't just be added on to those existing ones. And you're going to tune them to the clans within Privthinus. Which, fair enough, I may or may not come in handy. I suppose if there's ability to maybe tune it to where the crystal bowl is, then you could go about doing your fletching or construction and then instantly teleport to the bowl, remake a bunch of saws, go back to construction kind of deal. Might be handy. So another person in the Ithell area is Illumined. And Illumined acts mechanically identically to how she is always acted. My god, I cannot speak today. What is going on? Illumined acts mechanically identical to how she has always acted. She'll recharge your teleport crystal for 150 to 750 coins. She will only do this if it is out of charges. Unlike her incarnations outside of Elf City, these will remain as before unchanged. Illumined will remain in this one location persistently though, so yeah, there's an upside and a downside. There's also a sawmill operator. The sawmill operator will sell the player construction supplies, as well as offer the ability to convert logs into planks for a price. Awesome. Additionally, the operator will have some of the pricier construction elements for sale within his shop, including marble and gold leaf. I kind of love the Ithell area so far. Additionally, yeah, it still goes on. There's a sand pit, 3 pottery wheels, 3 furnaces within the outer regions of the Ithell area. And you'll also find more workers there, so you can steal from them too. So here we have the Amlodd clan. This is Summoning and Divination. These will also be coming along within the Batch 2 update. So yeah. This is the emblem, seems to be an owl. Which I suppose kind of makes sense since they're Summoning and Divination. It's also blue. But this is apparently what it's going to look like here. So this is the Amlodd section. This is the prototype picture, which looks a little bit different from the others we've seen previously. It does have a massive dump hole. I'm assuming that is probably the equivalent to as if you was going to, what was it, the Gothic Shrine, World Wakes, to hand in your, can't remember what they're called, the red divination thingies, let's call them that. So yeah, you can probably dump your red divination thingies there, and get the same amount of XP as if you completed World Wakes, because that's what it said in the original document, so yeah, I'm going with that. So here you can find shadow creatures of various combat levels, as well as level 85, 90 and 95 divination. There's 3 tiers of shadow, higher level than those seen in the Temple of Light, and they will wander around the crater in this area. Shadows will be added as slayer tasks solely to Malvern. Among the drops of the shadow creatures, you will be able to get shadow cores, and the player should pick these up and drop them into a nearby crater to thematically cleanse them. By doing so, the player will be rewarded with a large chunk of divination XP. Higher level shadows will drop higher grades of shadow core, which will in turn have higher divination requirements to cleanse, as well as giving you greater divination XP as a reward. Well, that's kind of nice. It's a nice alternative to high level divination, because I mean, what we've got? goddamn desert, which is annoying as shit if I remember rightly. And then just west of Castle Walls. Was it Dragontooth Isle as well? So yeah, alternative to those places, I guess. Especially if you prefer to stab stuff in the face rather than divination, so there is that. So apparently this is what the Amlodd crater is going to look like. I'm assuming this is one section of the city. This will be near the divination spot. And it's here that you can get a light creature familiar, which will require level 88 summoning. By cleansing shadow creatures and through other activities within the Elf City, the player will gather light cores. These are secondary ingredients in the construction of light creature familiars. These familiars are the same creatures as those in the Tears of Guthix Cave. Light creatures are divination familiars that will immediately convert energy and enriched energy into divination XP when harvesting from wisps. Wow, really? The XP gained from the crushed energy, similar to the Incando pickaxe or rock crushing scrimshaw, will be greater than would have been gained by converting the energy to XP at the grader. The intention is that a player who solely wants XP from colonies would use this light creature familiar. Ah, that's actually kind of good. So basically, having this creature out whilst you're doing divination, in a nutshell, is pretty much identical to using the Incando pickaxe whilst mining or the Inferno adze whilst woodcutting. You get a chunk of XP, and the advantage of this little light creature is it gives you more XP when it does that than if you was to lob that energy into a crater, which gives it quite a nice little use. Yeah, it's a nice little bit, like we said. Additionally, this light creature will also act as a light source. It will also teleport you to the Tears of Guthix Cave and will remove the negative effects of drinking the green tears. It will also extend the time you have within Tears of Guthix. Its scroll ability will increase the chance of receiving good items from the Heffin Agility course. Ooh. Yeah, that's the next design document, we'll cover that. Here you will also find a summoning obelisk as well, and a Bogrog style NPC. This character will give the player 70% of the shards that were used to create pouches. So you just trade your pouches to him instead of Bogrog. Simple enough. So, thieving from here requires quite high thieving. 96 thieving to steal from these guys. And probably understandably so, since you can steal divination energy, summoning charms, charm slices, portents and signs. Rare items will include full pouches and high level portents and signs. So yeah, it's not bad. You could thieve your summoning. That's pretty cool. Not a lot of it. Depends on what the charm rate's like, I suppose, because you could do the same in hunting with that stupid bloody stick you have to get for bonus hunter XP. But you don't particularly get a lot of charms on that, so yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for that bit. Anyway, moving on to the outer circle of the Amlodd. On the outer circle, you can also find a fairy ring, which will get you nice and easy. And more pickpocketed NPCs you can rob off, including an Impling Collector will also be here in this little house apparently. So an elf character wants the player to complete a codex of all the Implings in the world. The player is required to catch one of each Impling barehanded from this point on, including the new Crystal Impling. Ooh. And can do so in the world of Puro. So that's the Imp minigame if you've never heard of it. When the player has collected each of the Implings, the player is given a codex to keep track of their current findings. The player will unlock double XP from Implings. Ooh. Jarred Implings will not have their XP multiplied, however. Ah. The player will also unlock a large amount of Hunter XP upon completion. The Impling Collector will also reward the player with free teleport access to the Puro field. Full completion of the Impling Collector will be a requirement for the trimmed comp cape. Yeah, should have guessed. And anyway, that is pretty much it. So that's the Ithell and the Amlodd clans. I kind of like this one. There's quite a lot of useful stuff added with this, with these two clans. It's a shame it's in the second batch, to be totally honest. I mean, that light creature does seem funky. I like the sound of that little light creature, because honestly, leveling divination up was an absolute pain in the ass. It took bastard ages to get 99. And then you've also got the Bogrog bloke there, which is kind of convenient, since it's kind of following suit. Pretty much everything you could possibly need, or where you typically run around the entire world to get to, is now going to be all in this one city. So this is literally going to be high level central. Then you've got these shadow creatures, which saves you from doing divination. That, I wonder what else these shades actually drop, to be totally honest. But if they drop that shadow core fairly consistently and the XP you get is fairly decent, that could be an awesome alternative to actually doing divination. Although considering the fact that you're killing creatures and it's a random drop, I don't know how good the XP will be there. I dare say doing actual divination will be better XP, there's probably no doubt in my mind about that. But as an alternative, if you don't want to do divination and instead stab stuff in the face, can't really fault it. And then obviously you got the crystal weapons and all of this stuff. I mean, sandpit, pottery wheels, furnaces, sawmill operator. I mean, come on. The sawmill plug, you have to run all the way over to East Varagor, but at the quickest use the air balloon transport system, which even then is relatively slow. I know, I've done like 30k logs that way, it's fucking terrible. But yeah, crystal weapons, crystal tools, I'm liking them. Attuned weapons, I really want these to come out now. I want them. I want them. Either way people, that is pretty much it. So that's the Ithell and the Amlodd clans. They're coming out in the Batch 2 updates. Loads of useful stuff in these two clans, it's gotta be said. I'm looking forward to this. Can't wait for Batch 2. So the only thing left is the 5th and final design brief so far, and that is the Heaven and the Meliot. So we'll be covering those next. So if you like this and you want the 5th design brief to come out quickly, give us a like and tell me you want the 5th one. And there we go. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed. So until next time, I will catch you all later. Have a good one. Hopefully by the next time I do the next one I can talk. Oh my god, that sentence didn't make sense. What is going on?